back to my channel. I'm going to be joined by a very special guest today because we're talking about Wheel of Time Season 2. Don't. You have not been invited yet. We have a Wheel of Time expert joining us today, and no, it is not me. You might think this video is going to be me reviewing the Wheel of Time books and show, but alas, I have neither read nor watched it. So I had to bring someone in so that this video wasn't just 10 minutes of me staring at the camera. So without further ado, Ryan!
Hello.
Danny's here too. Our dog has joined us. Danny, have you read the Wheel of Time?
Am I reviewing the whole book series too in this?
No. Before we get started, Ryan is owed a huge congratulations because he has just finished reading the entire Wheel of Time series. No, that stays on for the whole video. Seriously though, like all jokes aside, there are 13 books in the Wheel of Time series and
14.
There are 14 books in the Wheel of Time series, sorry. Reading all of them is an enormous accomplishment that not many people can say they've actually done. So,
Thanks.
Okay, you can take that off if you don't like it. If you don't like my gift. I did bring you in here because we've been talking, obviously. Well, you've been talking a lot about the differences between the Wheel of Time books and the show so far. I did watch season 1, and you watched season 1 before you actually started reading the books.
Yeah.
From what I can remember. So we watched season 1 together and we were like, this is okay. And then you were inspired to read the books and the rest is history.
Yes.
But now that season 2 has wrapped and you binged it, you have some anger, I've noticed. The first half of this video is going to be as spoiler free as we can make it.
Past book 3.
There will be
There'll be spoilers for the first 3 books, but not after. Until
And then
later.
the second half of the video, he's gonna talk about the rest of the series.
So I'll start by saying, I think that if you've not read the books, you're gonna enjoy it a lot more than me. I think the show kind of started off strong. I think that it had a lot of good episodes and whatnot. I think the last episode was a mess. Just even in terms of a show, it was pretty messy. I think they focused too much on like having cool moments instead of having properly developed character arcs. I thought that Egwene's arc in the season was the best. It also happened to be the closest to the book.
From books 1 to 3, things that they've changed. Not the stuff that we've talked about where you're like, this will affect something in book 10 or whatever, but like things that just don't make sense within books 1 to 3. Did that make sense?
Why did Perrin have a wife? He should not have. His reasoning for not enjoying the axe and fighting in the books was more personal and more like, I just don't want to have to kill people. In the show, it's like, oh, his reason is because he killed his wife with it. It's a stronger character trait for him to just not enjoy killing people than to have this dark history. But also, what happened even to that history in season 2? His wife was like mentioned once. Is he even still sad about it? There's a scene of him maybe putting his wedding ring on a little on the Beltane floaty boat thing, but like he didn't. So it's like that's it. That's all we got. I also think he's way too good at fighting so far in the series. They show Matt not really knowing how to do it, and Rand doesn't really know how to. But like Perrin gets in a decent amount of sword fights with trained soldiers and doesn't die. And it's like, how? How?
Does he win the fights?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't die, so he clearly wins. Now in the books, they have built-in plot armor by being Ta'veren and whatnot, and that is sort of explains these sorts of things, but also they just don't put them in these situations as often in the book.
What's Ta'veren?
Ta'veren means that you are not subject to what the pattern weaves for you. The pattern is subject to what you want.
Ooh.
It's not actually super accurate. It's more like you make the pattern weaves around you, so the chances of things happening are much more likely, good or bad, but it's all balanced. So if a really, really good but very unlikely thing happens around you because you're Ta'veren, something really, really bad but also very unlikely will happen as well.
Comment down below if that makes sense. Oh, we went blurry. Hello? That scene where he killed his wife though, that was really cool. That was awesome.
Fine, it was fine, I guess.
As a person who's not read the books, that was a cool scene. Is there anything else that's spoiler-free up to book 3 that didn't really make sense, but you know what I mean, that you want to talk about before we move on to the spoilers?
I don't know, most of the issues that I have are like, doing this now means that this in the future either can't happen or will be challenging, or it just breaks the character development that they have in the book. So, yeah.
So from this moment on, we're going to be talking about all of the books. And yeah, I haven't read them, but I know everything that happens because you told me. And that's okay, I'm not mad about it. Skip ahead to this time to avoid spoilers. Okay, so you talked to me a bunch of times about some of the stuff that they changed. And even as someone who hasn't read or seen the show, what the heck are they doing?
A lot of baseline, like, seeds of character arcs and relationships have just been forgotten or not done. That it's like, these are just not the same people from the books. And I don't know how they're going to go through the same journey if you don't give them the same start. One of the things why did they even have to do this? When Matt blew the horn of Valir and summoned the Heroes of the Horn, right? Like, I understand that there was only like 10 and it wasn't a whole army. Like, budget constraints, whatever, at least he blew the horn. Uno, whatever, he can be a hero. It's kind of strange. What did he do that was super heroic? He just unnecessarily got himself killed by the Shanshan for no reason. Like, okay, I guess he's a f***ing hero of the horn. Whatever. All of that aside, fine. Matt makes a point in the last book, spoiler for the freaking last one, of desperately not wanting to be a hero of the horn. He definitely deserves to be, but the point was his entire character, Matt's entire thing, is that he's one of the most heroic people who just continuously denies that he's a hero. So him to blow the horn and get all of his memories of his past lives and realize that he's one of them, he's one of the heroes? What? No, he isn't. He denies it the whole time. So he's just gonna blow the horn and that's it? He's a hero?
And you told me that, like, the way it's done in the show is he literally just has like a throwaway line where he's like, I remember, I'm one of you. And they could have just not had that line exist at all. He could have said literally anything else.
Yeah, have him say something snarky, because he's mad. Have him say, oh, you guys don't look that... Yeah, it was a single line of dialogue that could have been anything. And they chose to do that. And to me, it's just like, who is Matt now?
You described Matt to me earlier on as better Han Solo.
He's the scoundrel archetype, except there's 14 books of character development for him to pursue being a scoundrel. Obviously, he can still be that in the show, but part of it is that everyone looks at him and thinks that, oh, Matt's a gambler, he's not good, he's not whatever. He needs to be that still. It means more in the book when he does do the heroic things. Because despite what he wants and despite how he thinks of himself, he still will do the right thing at the end of the day.
I like that.
In the show, he's just a hero, so of course he's gonna do the right thing, right? Like, ugh.
Continuing on with Matt, let's talk about that dagger.
Oh my god, the dagger. What are you doing? This has so many implications. So, okay, are they not gonna do the Eelfin and Aelfin thing? If they don't do that...
Are they?
But, so, okay, what did the Eelfin and Aelfin give him? They gave him past memories to become a really great general for war, so he can be the general in the last battle. It's important, right? They gave him an Ashendarai that he needs to fight things. They gave him, and they gave him the medallion, so he'll have to get the medallion some other way if they even do it. But the point is, well, okay, just for now, he put the dagger at the end of his stick. Is that his Ashendarai? He blew the horn and got all of these memories of his past lives. Are these his memories that he needs to become? Are they just not going to do the Eelfin and Aelfin thing and replace it all with this?
What's an Ashendarai?
It's like a dagger at the end of a stick.
Is that a spear? Is that what you're trying to say? It's not a spear. No, it's not a spear. I think the head is different, where it can be more slicey and less potent. Is it a real weapon?
I am 90% sure of that.
You keep talking, I'll figure out what an Ashendara is.
So, all of that aside, is like, are they just not going to do that? Why have any of these things? And then on top of that, Podman Thane has the dagger, and throughout the whole series, it corrupts him, and he is becoming corrupted. He's in the whole series, up to the very end. So now Podman Thane doesn't have the dagger. What are they going to do there? Matt shouldn't have the dagger. Matt's character is not that he's able to weaponize his darkness and use it against the forces of evil or whatever, right? Like, is that what they're trying to imply in the book? That he can take this dagger and overcome it and then use it against them?
It looks like that. It's not a real weapon, but it's based on real weapons.
There you go. Okay, so then let's use the show's logic. He couldn't sit in the same room as that dagger without getting antsy and twitchy because he just had to touch it. So he put it at the end of a stick and now it's fine?
It's COVID rules.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Also, Matt, in the show's rules, he's a hero of the Horn. He's using the Shadow Logoth dagger to kill people? That's horrific!
Why?
Because it's a super evil, corrupt dagger, and when you stab somebody with it, it's not just like a wound that kills you because you got wounded and stabbed. It kills you because it like eats away at you, it corrupts you. It like, even the show knows, because the show has it so when he stabs somebody it can like burn through them and it creates black tendrils all over them. Like, that's not a very heroic weapon. What is Matt doing with that? He shouldn't have it. It doesn't make sense.
I have a dagger like that in real life. No. In our D&D campaign, my character has a dagger like that, and one time I was sick, so you piloted my character and you killed people with it. And that's really rude of you, because my character would never have done that.
They were demon. I killed a demon with it.
It doesn't matter. Why is it so dark? Hello? Okay, I think we've covered Matt.
Yeah?
Let's talk about Nynaeve.
God damn Nynaeve. So Nynaeve was good throughout most of it, right? I don't mind them making changes so long as the arcs are maintained some way or another, and they get them to where they need to be. What the heck was Nynaeve's point of being there in the last episode specifically? Like, I liked her stuff at the White Tower, going through the arches and stuff, that was fine. But like, what did she bring to the battle at Falma? Nothing at all. She carried Elaine upstairs and then was just sitting there looking sad above Rand with his injury.
In the books, in that scene, Nynaeve is the one that heals Rand, not Elaine.
It wasn't Elaine, but I'm not entirely sure it was Nynaeve. It's been like a year since I read those first ones. I only just finished the last one, but it's long.
My theory is that, and we talked about this, is that the reason they had Elaine heal Rand in that scene was to build the relationship between Rand and Elaine that was built over several books, but in the show they had to do it in like 2 episodes.
That is the reason, but it's also just poor writing because Rand is sitting there stabbed by the Shadow Logoth dagger, right? I don't know why he didn't die instantly.
Wait, did
maybe because
Matt stab him?
Yeah, he threw the spear at Ishamael, but it was just an illusion, so it went straight through the illusion and stabbed Rand. So it should have killed him much quicker. I guess maybe he's the Dragon Reborn, so maybe not. I guess that's how they could explain it.
He's the main character.
Yeah, sure, but it was super dumb. He's there, literally there, dying, getting corrupted by the dagger, and then he just like looks up and sees Elaine and is like, "Who are you?" And Elaine's like, "Oh, I'm Elaine." And they have like this moment of like, "Wow, you're super beautiful." It's like, you're dying, man. Ishamael's throwing fireballs at all your friends. Like, why are you, this isn't the time. But Elaine should not have been the one to do that. It would have given Nynaeve purpose to be there if she was the one who healed. And Nynaeve is a healer, like the greatest healer in the entire series, in the whole universe since the last turning of the wheel. Obviously not at this point, and I know she has her block, but her block can be overcome through major distress and anger. They could have easily wrote that she gets angry watching Rand die in front of her, that her block is no longer blocking her.
She's just super chill.
She's just unable to get past her block and build enough anger to start channeling. She's Nynaeve, the healer. Heal Rand. It would have given her a reason to be in Falma and like a whole part of this story. But instead she just was there. She could have not been there and nothing would have been different.
I think there's one more thing that I remember. We already talked about Egwene a bit, but then you mentioned that there's some nonsense with how Egwene is able to save herself.
Yeah, so she doesn't save herself in the books. Nynaeve saves her. Again, would have given Nynaeve and Elaine more reason to be there.
So what is Egwene's predicament?
She has an Uldam on her, which means she can be controlled by a Suldam. It's like a collar, so she has the collar on her, and it controls her. She can't channel, she can't attack her Suldam, she can't really do anything except what the Suldam says, and if she tries, she'll get violently ill and super hurt by just thinking about using something as a weapon against her Suldam. In the books, and even in the show, it's like a fate worse than death. I'd rather you kill me than have this thing put on me. In the books, she's able to like last a while and whatnot, although part of her story arc is that she was starting to like her Suldam, and like she's kind of resentful of that in her future, so they're clearly not going to do that in the show, which is fine. And Egwene is meant to be someone who can overcome a lot of torment and have a lot of motivation and its strength, and can just withstand a lot of pain and punishment. They did good there. That is Egwene's arc. However, getting saved is kind of the point of the Wheel of Time. You can't do everything by yourself, so that would have worked there too.
You've said that's like Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson both specifically have stated that like the one lesson of the Wheel of Time is that you can't do anything alone.
Yeah, you can't do things by yourself, and don't try. Like over and over and over again, people go off on their own and fail, and they have to all come together and get help. And like that's why the light overcomes the darkness and whatnot, right? All the way up to the end, Egwene's stuff was pretty sweet, and then she puts a Uldam on her Suldam. So then they're both each other's Suldam and both wearing Uldams. So it's like, how does the magic work, right? Because if you hit your Suldam while you're wearing it, it hurts you twofold. So how does she put it on Rini? It's not Renee, but it's something like that. How does she put it on her and then is now able to like hurt her, right? She put her up and started choking her out, and it's like, so she's getting choked out to death. Egwene must be feeling twice that pain. I guess Egwene is much stronger, like she's had more time to withstand injury. Maybe this person's lived a pampered life and doesn't actually know how to withstand pain. And then if you punched her, you would receive the hit back twofold, which would then put the hit back onto the other person twofold, back and forth, right?
Infinite feedback loop.
A feedback loop of pain that just gets worse and worse and worse. They would just blow each other's heads up. I don't know. The magic of that to me doesn't make sense. I think.
And the Suldam died, right?
The Suldam died.
So theoretically, Egwene would die twofold.
Theoretically, but she did take the collar off.
Okay.
Before she died.
You can take it off?
No, the girl took it off Egwene because she thought that Egwene would save her if she took it off. Well, she was wrong. Egwene just watched her choke out and die, which was badass and in character, so good.
Do you have more points?
Well, I have one other like major complaint that I think is like...
I love complaining.
You can for sure kill a Forsaken by stabbing them. They're people. They're not aliens, they're not mystical entities or whatever. When Moiraine stabbed Lanfear through the heart and slit her throat, Lanfear should have died. That's part of what makes them spooky, is that they're people. How come Rand was able to stab Ishamael at the end and kill Ishamael? I know he's the Dragon Reborn and whatever, but like...
But he just stabbed him with a knife.
He just stabbed him, which was another point that's like, really? Ishamael just stood there? Think about if you've read the books and whatnot, right? That super awesome battle between Lan and Demon Dread. How did Lan kill Demon Dread if Demon Dread can be stabbed and not die? It doesn't make any sense. How did Ishamael at the end of the show get stabbed and die? If Lan... The rules don't even apply in the same show. They can teleport, and Lanfear's like, I'll use a horse to chase them.
Horses are cool.
Teleport, girl. Do it.
I didn't know Lanfear was a girl this whole time. Wait, is Lanfear the character that I got in the randomizer?
No, you got Grendel.
I'm Grendel.
It's true. Save me.
Well, I was gonna say we're done, but we're not done.
What is Moiraine? Okay, Moiraine and Lan this whole season, I didn't like. It's a whole different arc, and I feel like they're gonna get to where they need to be, so I'll accept it. Moiraine, should not be powerful enough to destroy an entire fleet of Shan ships. She shouldn't be. That's really strong. That's also really far away. The further away something is, the more powerful you need to be to actually affect it.
And she broke one of the rules, right?
And could she actually say that she was under threat from those Shanshan ships, that she could attack them? Part of the oaths is that you can't attack somebody unless you feel like you have to defend your life from them, or the life of your warder, or the life of a sister. How can she justify that those ships
that didn't know she was there,
didn't know she was there, were threatening her life, that she was able to use the power to destroy them and kill those people? Is it because she was getting attacked by random Shanshan on the beach? It must be lucky that these random Shanshan were like a mile away from the fight on a random beach for no reason, which is, what are they doing? It gives land something to do, so
that feels
fine.
Racist. If random Shanshan were attacking her on the beach, that means she can kill any Shanshan she sees.
You're right. It doesn't make any sense. Even if that was...
I don't know if they're a race. I'm just assuming they are.
They are a race.
Then it's racist.
They're like a culture. I guess they're both a race and a culture.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't, if like, but let's just say a woman was attacking her on the beach. She can now kill any women because they might be connected.
That is what it implies. It implies that those Shanshan on the beach that were attacking her gives her oath reason enough to believe that she can attack the ones on the ship, right?
Wild.
She's in fear of her life.
For her life.
You shouldn't jeopardize the rules of your world and how your magic works just for a cool scene. It was cool enough in the book.
I think that's everything.
Oh, I bet there's more.
I bet there's more too. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. No.
Wait, we're not done. Oh my gosh, you just want to go back to work. It's the middle of the day and you have a job and I don't care. Guys, this is what it's like to live in my house. Congratulations again for finishing Wheel of Time series. That's an awesome accomplishment. I'm so proud of you for sticking with it. I know sometimes you didn't want to.
Some of the books I think didn't have to exist.
Congratulations to me for listening to him talk about Wheel of Time every day for 5 hours a day for the last 2 years. Just kidding. I really enjoyed it. But now you know what it feels like. If you've never read or seen Wheel of Time, this is what it's like. If you have read or seen Wheel of Time, you probably understood what was going on that whole time, and he makes some good points, it sounds like. Let me know down below if you agree with them or disagree, or if you have explanations for some of the nonsense that apparently you're literally like inching to, you're trying to leave.
I'm not. I have not moved my feet.
Yeah, but you're leaning to, he's trying to leave.
Hey.
Congratulations. Thank you guys for sticking through this probably really long video. We'll find out when I edit it. Aww. Thanks. I haven't read Wheel of Time. I don't deserve this. And it knows.
It knows.
Before we go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 2 days a week, plus What to Read Wednesdays. You can see Ryan and our dog who's jumping up on us in some other videos. I'll link some above, and he'll definitely be around in some future vids as well. We love you guys. Goodbye.